Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the Natural. Got a Madden 22 title update for you guys today, and this is a franchise update. We've been kind of waiting for the franchise updates this year, the promised ones. Kind of had a back and forth with EA, I guess, that they were, we had got a report that they were canceled, and then they kind of did a 180, kind of, oh no, we're still working on it, kind of a rush to put people back on that had moved over to working on NCAA football. So we got the franchise update. We're kind of going to go through it right now. It's basically just some additional scenarios added to the game, and I'll kind of read through that with you guys. So starting off, one good addition, they did bring coach adjustments and coverage depth back to franchise mode. So now in franchise mode, you will be able to go in and set the depths and your coverage, and kind of get a realistic practice against that, which is definitely a good thing. It's good because a lot of people run a lot of that Mabel coverage where they have the hook, the curl, and the flat to the same side, and now you can actually take two controllers in practice mode and kind of play against that and set those coverage depths and get a realistic look, where before you have to just play versus a user, or just bring two controllers into gameplay into the normal mode. But anyway, so they did add that in the practice mode, so you're able to do those coaching adjustments, so that's definitely a good thing. Fix some issues in the game with gun wing, issues with playmaker flipping and RPO stretches. You can flip to the same side and run the RPO and run the stretch. They removed the temporary modifier on the RPO zone peak that was allowing defenders to shed their blocks quicker. Block sheds on this player now back to using solely ratings. Fix the issue with a handoff animation and gun slot open. All right, so that's a little gameplay things that they did, but basically the main thing for that was the practice mode, the addition to practice mode, to coverage depths and coverage adjustments to practice mode. So on to the franchise updates. They said they fixed the issue with the 5th-year option scenario, causing it not to trigger. And a lot of these things, like, I remember that they're in the game from past games. Like, I remember I've had that issue this year, but in Madden 21, I do remember where my 5th year just didn't trigger a player at all. Like, that was never given an option. Like, at no point in the off season or any point where it usually would, it just didn't trigger. So it's just interesting to see, like, a bug that's fixed from a past Madden that had carried over into this Madden. So it's like, yeah, you almost got to keep like a spreadsheet of tracking bugs from year to year that are still in the game. But it's good that they resolved that one this year's game. Fix the issue with crisis and conflict scenario goal that would cause it not to award the staff points. And so these are on to the meat of this update, the new franchise scenarios. So this will apply to both the new and existing franchises, so you don't have to restart for these. And starting off with the first one is Trench Boost. The new Trench Boost scenario gives you a chance to help improve your entire offensive line by building off either strong rushing or passing performance. The tier-based awards will compensate you based upon your success in the following game and give you the opportunity to beef up your offensive line and clear lanes for your running back. So that's an interesting one. I mean, I think that's one thing that's really tough to develop in the game. Offensive lines are so bad and rated in this game. It's probably one of the lowest rated groups overall, which is good. I mean, I like the fact that you have a top offensive lineman. He's much better than rated, much better than a bottom guy or average guy. Average, he stands out. The good offensive linemen stand out in the game ratings wise. In practice, maybe not so much, but it's good that you can help develop your offensive line that way in the game. So moving on, QB duel. The duel scenario starts during the regular season with two of the league's best signal callers face off. As a coach, you'll be faced with the choice of calling on your own elite quarterback to have a huge game that leads to victory, or challenge your defense to step up to the plate and shut down the league's best hit. That's interesting. I want to know how is this one triggered? Is it triggered by overall, or is it triggered by stats and performance? So is it top signal callers? Does it mean just Aaron Rodgers and a Patrick Mahomes where they're rated really high and it triggers, or is it based upon, it could be a second tier type quarterback going at it, but they both are top 1 and 2, top in the league in passing yards. Like that will be interesting to see because a lot of times, especially in online franchises, a lot of the better upper echelon quarterbacks don't always have the best coaches to go with them. So they're rated well, but not necessarily performance on the field is not so great. Moving on, a movable object, a mid to late season scenario where your matchup includes facing one of the league's staunchest defenses. Do you attack them or try to run right through the wall? Do you take skies and try to throw it over the wall? Or do you enter the arena with attitudes to win by any means necessary? Okay. Interesting one. So that's triggers on based upon again probably defense. It's a mid to late scenario, mid to late season, so it's probably based on stats of the defense and how well they're ranked stacked up. Under siege, after dealing with the barrage of sacks in the middle of the season, you'll be forced to the coach to blame put the blame on your offensive line for not holding up or your quarterback for not getting the ball out quicker. Following that decision, you'll be tasked with how to approach the game, which can include staying the course, shifting to the run, extra preparation. Depending on your choice, success in the next game, your offense and offensive line can receive boosts if they need to bounce back and right the ship. This is interesting. I mean, a lot of these scenarios, they're just based upon like gameplay, and I'll wait till I finish to get my thoughts on this. But Under Siege, this is an interesting one. Just basically, a lot of it's just like the coach talking to the media and what triggers based upon that. I kind of like more the locker room talk. These. Let's see, QB breakouts one. So for this one, we've updated the QB breakouts with modular cinematics similar to other breakout scenarios. In a week following stand-up performance by your quarterback, he'll be given a set of goals he must accomplish to increase his dev trait. The goal scale by dev trait. Yeah, so we all know how this works if you played, depending on normal to star, starter superstar, you need more stats. But the biggest challenge, and this is something that was in the game previously that was disabled, but now it's basically back. So it's not anything that was added, it was kind of just fixed. So this was in the game last year. But I think it was fixed, turned off, whatever. Had issues with it, but now it's working again and it's back in the game. But the toughest one with this was not even the stats. It was like the no interceptions, like throw for 300 yards and no interception, throw for 400 yards and no. Like that's the tough one. The yardage of the touchdowns wasn't the issue. It's like that back-breaking one where I think I've only had one of these ever. And like literally the first play of the game, I threw an interception. And I was like, well, that's out the window there. Like, oh, QB breakout is done. Like, whatever. So that's pretty annoying. But so my whole thoughts on just the idea of franchise scenarios. When it was first announced, I was like, wow, this could be huge for a franchise. And there's so many things that happen during the NFL season within the media, in the locker room, between different players, different things, like so many. You can grab stories just from real life and bring them right in. And Antonio Brown, taking his jersey off and running off the field, something crazy, but I know they're limited by the NFL, but I just wish they would do more, because a lot of these are turning into coach says something to the media, XYZ happens, like, oh man, your kicker missed 2 kicks, like, how do you feel about that? Oh man, kicker's gonna bounce back. Oh man, my kicker sucks. Oh, +5 to the kicker, -5 to the kicker. Like, it's just so, like, just on the surface, like they're not getting deep into locker room struggles, issues, more off the field stuff. And again, I know the limit of an NFL, but at least try to push the limit somewhat. Like, I know they're not going to bring in a Calvin Ridley gambling NFL game. I know they can't go there, but there's some other places they can go that's not that far, just to make things interesting. Like the QB duel one, that's not bad. That's not bad. Like, that's not a bad one. But I just don't want it always to be like coach talks to the media, XYZ, the result or not. Like, it's just, they got to get deeper into. There's so many things that happen in the football season that happen with a football team, that it can be interesting and brought in and kind of suck you in and get you immersed in your franchise. And I really feel that they're just scratching the surface. They gotta go get deeper into this. And that's really my thoughts and feelings on the franchise scenarios. So also they added NFL Live Playbooks. You can see that there. I'm not going to go too crazy deep into that, but if you guys want, I can create a separate video that, pulls out what are some new things that they probably added in, some cool plays, some new money plays that are, effective in the game. So that is it. That is your update for March, your franchise update. Hopefully it's not the last one. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this update in the comment section below.